I saw Mr. Farouk coming, and you know charisma. Steeze, when you see it, you go just know say, he did. Not for some.
And I got a call from so many quarters. Guy, you are from Ijebu, you are not pushing you're not a Lagos boy. You're from Ijebu, they push your brand, push your cultural festivals.
And then, like you said, shout out to Niyi Fagbemi that actually blew up the whole thing because of his videos and his content. When you look online many times, try to look for Nigerian dish, you'll not see like branded images. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but now you can go online and see like proper images of fufu and ogbono I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think from my own niche, from my own perspective, it was very difficult to actually get to the biggest sports stock photo platforms like Imago, like Getty Images, and it was like hell. You can't.
So while the old boss was going crazy, I was inside the towing van with my legs on the dashboard, like, okay, you guys don't know what's going on down here.
Hello, welcome to Life on the Movement Pod with me, Simi Drey. So one thing about this beautiful country, Nigeria, is that over the years, Nigeria has been seen in such a negative light by the rest of the world. But recently, because we creatives have been taking the bull by the horns, we have been telling a different story about Nigeria, showcasing the richness and culture, showcasing the talent Nigeria has to offer. And slowly, perspectives and mindsets have been changed about our beautiful country. So with us today are two of Nigeria's most sought after photographers. Please welcome Fola Stag and of course Suleiman Adebayo. How are you doing?
Good.
It is great to have you here in the studio with us.
Thank you.
I need to ask though, how did you guys both get into photography? Because let's be real, we all have African parents. And if your parents are similar to mine, my parents wanted me to be an architect. And many African or Nigerian parents are like, what is media? What is photography? What is presenting? What is television?
Or should I go first?
Go first.
Well, funny enough, I studied banking and finance in school.
There we go.
And then, everybody wants to be a banker, doctor. And, I felt like for photography, it's not a skill that you have to more train and go to school for. You have to be passionate first. So while in school, do some photography. And when I got out, of course, I love football. I was doing football and I felt like, okay, fine, what can I add to this football journalism that is not out there? So after NYC, I think 2014, 15, I thought, okay, fine, let me add photography. And I did that. And I think, my first major gig was going to Egypt for the AFCON. So that's where it started. So it wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't, I didn't actually want to be a photographer, but of course, that's where fate led me.
Your first major gig was going to Egypt. Please, how did that happen? Because you just said it casually.
No, because as a football journalist, it's so saturated. So for you to get accreditation for that light is very difficult. But 2015, 2016, no really sport photography then. So when you applied, you saw that avenues for you to get accreditation. So I got accredited for being a photojournalist, and it was very easy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, of course. So that's where the passion started for. My first gig, I went out of the country. Then we start doing it major, and I'm doing the major.
Go easy. How about you? How did you start?
Okay, so let me take it a few steps back. Before I entered uni, I wanted to do theater arts. And like you said, our parents, they said...
I wanted to do theater arts too.
Oh yeah? And my father was like, do you want to go and turn to Babasuwe? I'm like, damn it. Okay, so I said, okay, I'll do mass communication. But unfortunately, I didn't get mass communication. So I ended up doing business administration. All right. So fast forward to sometime in 2013, 2014. Okay, well, before then, I used to sketch, just sketch in school, tell stories with my friends and all of that. And I got my first camera 2014. And then I said, okay, you know what? This is my new pen. So everywhere I went on the campus in school, Babcock University, then I would just go with my camera and take pictures of people, plants, whatever I just found myself, And then fast forward, I was the next big photographer in school. And the next thing I was shooting for the school calendar. So if there are like conferences around and all of that. So it was basically my playground to learn and all of that. And then in the middle of that, I left school because what happened? I started making a shitload of money. And I'm like, oh, wait, do I really need school? Yeah, so I left school for a bit and I focused on photography. It was for 2 years actually. But at the end of the day, I was like, why will I just leave school and not go back? That's very silly. So I went back and I finished up. But because I had tasted and I've learned that, okay, I can make money with this thing. So I started practicing normally. I started learning. I started buying tutorials, I started finding my own niche. Do you understand? And then after I graduated, fast forward to 2019, all right, because I enjoy cooking as well. So back then, I'll just take pictures of food with my phone and post online, and people were like, oh, this is so good, this is so good. And then just that one time, I was like, you know what, let me just try with my camera. Let me even, mix and match, And then everybody was like, oh, this is great. You should try this. You should try it. I'm like, okay, maybe this is an avenue. Maybe this is something people are not really looking at, but like it can work. So I started collaborating with chefs. I started cooking myself, mixing the one or two things together. And then, so fast forward, I've been able to work with brands and all of that. And that's basically it for me. That's how I've become food, portraits, product, and lifestyle photographer.
Fair enough. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, back in the day, right, most of the pictures we saw out of Nigeria, out of Africa were by foreign photographers.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember growing up in the UK, we would see all these like adverts like help a child in Africa. And you'd see, a child who seemed to be like in the middle of a desert somewhere with flies all around him or her. So, and I remember like, because these were the images that many of us were seeing of Africa, I mean, I knew there was a different story.
Yeah.
But when I told my white friends that I was going to Nigeria, they were like, oh, are there airports in Nigeria? How are you going to land the plane? There was so much confusion about like why I was going to Nigeria. So what do you think is the importance of creatives to actually pick up their lenses and tell the story of Nigeria, of Africa, as opposed to, being told by a foreigner?
Well, I think, from my own niche, from my own perspective, it was very difficult to actually get to the biggest sports stock photo, platforms like Imago, like Getty Images. And it was like hell. You can't. Because one, the quality of your camera, the quality of your lenses. So you need to, build up your product, yourself, your brand. And, during that time, I think 2018 as well, 19, the criteria to actually get to all these platforms was crazy. The kind of lenses, the modification, you feel like, can you even afford, if a camera that is, for sports is very expensive. I know you can still do some other niche like portrait with little less quality pictures, but because of the fast pace of sports, you need a very high quality, cameras and lenses, and it worth, close to 5-6 million naira. But what, you have to do for yourself is you have to build up. And, right now, I think, we have like 4-5, Getty image photojournalists in Nigeria. I can mention name like myself, Modo. We have, Stacking Photo. We are now on the biggest platform. And that is why we always tell story from our own local league as well, because we are the funnel. You have to take our pictures to show the rest of the world. And because we take best, good pictures, they need to now come down to local photographers like us to the world. So I think it of course, very difficult then, but now I think because of the more creatives into the business now, and of course, more gadgets, big gadgets, you can now compete with the best of the world.
All right. So for me, like you said, he spoke from his perspective. So I also speak from my perspective, all right? So remember I said earlier that I practice a lot. I tried my hands on different kinds of photography, right? So I think first of all, each individual needs to know what they want to sell or what they want to tell, what kind of stories they want to tell. Like for instance, I have a friend that talks strictly about climate change, how plastic affects us, how this affects us, and all of that. So, like you said, growing up, all right, you saw all of that, and we were some of that, all right. We were those guys in the trenches that experienced those things that you saw. And growing up, I was like, somehow, I just said, that is not the kind of reality I want. That is not the kind of story I want. All right. So I've somehow detached from it. And I said to myself, these are the things I want other people to be seeing. These are the things I want other people to see. I want people to see beauty. I want people to see colors. I want to see vibrance. Do you understand? In all of whatever I do. Do you understand? In whatever kind of storytelling I'm doing. Do you understand? So for photography, the food part has stood out for me, especially in the sense that when you look online many times, try to look for Nigerian dishes, you not see like grounded images. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but now you can go online and see like proper images of fufu and ogbono and or you do. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, but like yeah, it is grounded now. Do you understand? So I am telling my story from the perspective of food first of all. All right, say okay, Nigerian dishes have like a different kind of touch to them. It's not just how they look. Do you understand? So selling that first of all, and also for the what's it called? Should I call it cultural or the basic part of it of day-to-day lives? Yeah. Also trying to make that relatable to people. You understand? And I'm really happy that a lot more other people are doing that storytelling. Say, okay, I've seen content creators that will create content where they say, okay, I'm going to walk today. Somebody splash water on my body. Like, yeah, those are things that the media will probably sell in a bad way. Do you understand that? Okay, the roads in Nigeria are bad all the time. Do you understand? But that's our reality. Do you understand? So people have found a way to fine tune it and tell better stories with it. And I think that's really great.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. And also, not just for the Western world, but for us as a people as well, because I hate to admit it, right? But before this year, I didn't even know about the Ojude Oba festival.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the only one because we're not taught our history in schools. And there hasn't always been such an emphasis on different cultural, activities around the country. And you know how we have like just so many different tribes, so many different tribes, so many types of cultures. A lot of us don't know about other cultures. So you guys went viral after we started seeing the Steezes, the pictures. So what did you think about the impact your photography had on this event and on Nigeria as a whole?
For me, I'll say I'm a little bit guilty because, I came from Ijebode. I spent, of course, like 23 years of my life, secondary school, primary school in Ijebode. And I think by 8, 9, I've started going to Ojude Oba. And, I've been a little bit in the news, And this year, it was, of course, last year, I had a plan to go to Ojude Oba, but of course, I have that gig in Lagos, which brings more money. I have to stay back. But this time around, I got a call from so many quarters. Guy, you are from Ijebode. You're not a Lagos boy. You're from Ijebode. Push your brand, push your cultural, festivals. And I got a call from one of my friends, Prince Adedoyin Alatishe, and said, guy, come. If you cannot go to family house, because I know, maybe village people, I will, give you, a nice hotel in town, and you can actually cover this event. Okay, I feel like, okay, fine, I will do it. But for me, unfortunately, again, I was actually in Abuja for a foundation, and I needed to go back. I needed to come back on Tuesday, so I changed my flights, got to Lagos on Monday, from airport, got to my house, and I had to Judo, I had to take my car. So I got to Djibouti like around 10 p.m. on Monday, because I needed to catch up on Tuesday. So it was just normal. I was just telling stories normally because I knew virtually all the regulars. So I was looking for a better way to tell the story, because I think last year, shout out to Adura Gbemi, he has actually pushed a very big, had a very big impact in terms of, opening up Ojude Oba. So I felt like, let me go this year, but I have that conviction until I got a call. So I was in town. I came to Ojude Oba, so I was telling my story. I didn't even know it's going to blow up, because as you are posting, you are still capturing moments. So I posted that picture And after like 1 hour when I go back, saw a lot of notification. Waiting they happen. Waiting they happen for this timeline. And it just blew up. And after that, when I now sat down to check, that's why I saw so many pictures from Fola, so many pictures. I say, fine. I think we are getting to the point where we blew up this festival. And I think it's a good one. And I think, from next year, it's going to be more and more, bigger. And of course, more people will come to Ijebode.
All right. So I think our stories are similar, all right, because I also grew up in Ijebu. I spent the first 6 to 8 years in Ijebu. And in fact, I still have family members there. I grew up with my grandma, actually. And when I was younger, I don't know the name of that street in Ijebu. So there's a story building there where we all stand and then we see all the horses, all the groups come by with their horses, and sometimes some of them stop and perform and all of that. And then when we notice that, okay, there are lesser of them, so the children will come down and follow like the last horse, who will run and, sing their song, the group songs and all of that. So those are like core memories for me, do you understand? With friends, with family and all of that. So every year it has made Ojude Oba like that thing for me that reoccurs. It's almost like Christmas for me. It's almost like, okay, I know that once we celebrate Salah, my head is already thinking 2 days later, we out there, man. Do you understand? So I think one of the things that actually get my attention also is the outfits. Because when I was young, I used to think they repeat clothes every year. It was much later I realized, okay, wait, these people actually spend money to buy these things. Because my grandma used to sell clothes too. So around a particular period, they already reach out to her like, oh, we need clothes for this. They would already be deliberating. Do you understand? In fact, some of them will say, oh, I've so group come to you. If you say yes, like this, you're in trouble. They'll probably don't want to buy from you again. So I already have like these experiences. And also because my stepfather was one of the organizers, is like one of the people that, put everything together. I was there last year again. I mean, this last one. And we'll follow him sometimes to the stadium before the setup and all of that. So I've already gotten like an insight of how the whole thing is. I know where they are coming from. I know where they are going. Do you understand? So in that moment, before that moment, sorry, I would always tell my friends, guys, let's go for Ojude Oba. Let's go for Ojude Oba. Let's go for Ojude Oba. Sometimes we'll be busy. I think 2 years ago, I had a shoot on Ojude Oba, even though we had planned like we're going. Last year, we had to book a cab from Ojota early in the morning to go and experience it again. Some of my friends took pictures. I took pictures as well, sometimes with my phone and just post and talk about it. Do you understand? And then, like you said, shout out to Niyi Fagbemi that actually blew up the whole thing because of his videos and his content. And so this year again, as usual, I was like, guys, let's go and play, man. Let's go and see. So the day before I went there, I got there on Monday as well. Despite the heavy rain, at some point I was like, is this not my village people following me? Because the road is really bad.
Oh, wow.
So imagine the potholes filled with water. You have to be careful. If not, maybe you'll be by the roadside. Help me. Do you understand? Which still happened on the second day because my car stopped working. I had to tow it back. So while the old boss was going crazy, I was inside the towing van with my legs on the dashboard, like, okay. You guys don't know what's going on down here. So, but like the beauty of everything is that I was able to experience it again. I was able to share the experience with people, because many times when I get there, I just post like pictures of like from my phone. I think the first picture that I even went out was from my phone of some women, you understand, doing their thing, and then I just let it out. So when I saw his first picture, I was like, oh, okay, this man, because what had happened was I saw Mr. Farouk coming, and charisma. Steeze, when you see it, you go just know, say, he did. Not for Sam. Do you understand? So the moment I saw him, I raised my phone, I raised my camera. So I was recording a video on my phone and I took over 30 pictures of him. That's how insane it was, because I've never seen anybody like that during Ojude Oba. I've never seen anybody, I've never seen an older person with that kind of tattoo, with a Cuban cigar, on a horse, in that beautiful regalia. Like, oh, come on. So I took the pictures, I made the videos. First, I posted the video and people were like, oh my God, this man. I'm like, okay, you know what? Since you guys are also guilty of loving him, and I'm not the only person, I'll not be selfish this time. Oh yeah, take these pictures. So luckily, what I had done was that I had taken like close-up pictures of his arms, close-up pictures of his shades, and everything. So I think that gave people like a clearer view, like, oh my God. Because I think the picture he posted was just of him standing. So people now seeing that, they were like, yay, man, he needs Steeze, man. Do you understand? So that just took it AYR for everybody, like, God damn it. So I think that was like the highlight for me, to be honest. Even though I had like other pictures I still wanted to post. And there was this pretty lady I saw as well, Princess Adeshile. She was on the horse. She had a really beautiful smile. And she was just smiling during the whole thing. So I took pictures of her as well. And I'm like, okay, guys, please help me find her. And within like 20 minutes, people already tagging our page, our business page, your family, like, oh, come and see your sister. They are looking for your sister. Next thing, and then we're already talking on Instagram, say, oh, I took pictures of you and all of that. So for me, it's just like a normal thing. You understand? But like, wow. Just like that. You understand? Because that's an experience. I was able to experience it and I was also able to share it. And I think that's the height for me. Because, at the end of the day, that's it.
You guys have to carry me along next year because I've got to experience this Steeze, firsthand myself.
My dear, are you sure? Because you have to wear like rain boots and armor guard because it gets... I think this year was also really crowded. Yeah, more than usual. And I think the procession started late. So a few things were not like the normal way. Right. So if you're not really strong...
Now you have to walk many kilometers.
Yes.
All these boots, all these, fine sneakers, you cannot.
So you have to like gear up properly. Do you understand? Yeah. And also when you're in the crowd, you have to watch out for horse movements. I think a horse landed on my... Is this heel? Yeah, really? Like twice. Because I was using my phone for the wide shots and I have to go down. Before you know it, there's a horse behind you. Before you know it, you have to run. So you have to be like alert as well. And I'm one person that... Because I told my friend Aria while we were there, I was like... So the thing is, between the gate and the staircase where people climb to go and meet the king, that's where like a lot of performances happen. Because once you're in front of where the king is, you can't really do a lot. All you just have to do is go up, present your whatever, and then leave. So I knew all of these things. I knew that, okay, when they start coming in, they have a movement they make the horses do to clear the ground. And then by the time they do that, they do whatever they want to do before they now get to the king. So I told Ario, my friend, I was like, this spot I'm standing in, that's where the staircase was. I was like, if he pay me, let me move. So I just left him there and I moved, even though I had like access to every other place. I was like, let me just go around. So it was then I met Mr. Farouk. It was then I, met some other people as well, took pictures, made videos. So first-hand experiences also, because my Snapchat is quite active. I just post videos and pictures, just like, that was it.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
And it's actually interesting that you mentioned, you were using your phone because one thing I've heard some photographers complain about is content creators, especially when it comes to events. So just the other day, I think 2 days ago on Instagram, I saw a photographer lamenting about how sometimes when he's hired for weddings, he's trying to get the shots of the bride and groom, but there is a vendor's content creator blocking him, getting in his way. And they're trying to create content for their own brands, their own companies, but like he's hired for the job, he's been paid and he needs to deliver. So what is your take on, content creators and phone photography? And do you think it poses any threats to professional photography and content creation?
I think it's a big headache. I think, just what I'm actually doing now, I'm actually doing behind the scene for a Netflix movie. And you have so much of these guys come with their own content creator, most of these actors. And you are paid for a job. So they have to go into your frame. You have to, and because it's a set, you don't like, just like this set, you don't make noise. So you need cooperation beforehand. There should be a meeting, vendors meeting before any, events. Because at the end of the day, there's no way you guys will fight. Because I've done a wedding before and a particular picture, the brides or the grooms continue to ask me. I said, guy, I didn't have this picture. Because there are a lot of people, and it's when they were, dancing in, there were a lot of people in your way, in your frame. So I think there should be, proper meeting beforehand. So that you know that, okay, fine, this is where you are, this is where you have to be, this, when you're doing video content, you have to, don't be in my frame, blah, blah, blah. And I think it will work because it's a big headache. And now, for I said, we have, there's a gadget now, like a hanger you can put on your camera and put your phone, and you can still be doing your pictures. But it's not for content creators that want to be, taking all those little shots of maybe their celebrities. So I think the meeting have to be key. Unfortunately, I got this job from like a day or 2 days before, and I couldn't see any other do a meeting. But when I got to the venue or the scene today, there are lots of people with their phones. So I couldn't do a proper meeting with them, because at the end of the day, you won't be in the crew or whatsoever. You see for the photography behind the scene, and it's with me. And at the end of the day, I'm selling myself. So if I have bad pictures, it will still come back to me, not you using your phones with your celebrities. So I think, because I didn't have that conversation with them, I had problem. And because we're on break now, when I go back, we have to do a proper, meeting and say, okay, this is where you have to stay. This is where you have to, that's why there are zooms, on cameras. Give professional photographers their own frame so that we can take the best picture. And I think, that's how it has to be. You have to be a meeting before any major gig so that you won't have people coming to your frames.
Do you feel any type of way when, like back in the day when it was just, photography and we didn't have the content creation, whenever there was like a big event, let's say a wedding, for example, it was when those pictures, were professional pictures, were released that people were like, oh yeah, the event is happening, and those pictures would go viral. But now, because, when you're taking photos, you need to edit them, you need to color grade them, etc., to make sure they're perfect.
Yeah.
But with phone photography and videography, it's instant.
Yeah.
So sometimes these videos, these pictures might be posted before your pictures are ready and then go viral. And then by the time your pictures are ready, people have moved on from the event.
Whether they like, they should move on. I've collected my money. Do you understand? Okay, so in response to your first question, so for me, all right, when it comes to shooting events, well, till now, I still don't really like shooting some events. Do you understand? Yes, I want to shoot them, but like I have to come to an agreement with my client. So there has to be like a contract. You will tell all your people to sit down when you are doing certain things. You will tell your people that if I throw their phone against the wall, they will not vex. Do you understand? Because it has happened to me once that the pastor goes, you may kiss the bride, about to take the shot, and somebody walked past my camera. I'm not joking. I was so furious. I opened my eyes and it was an old woman trying to take a picture. Ooh. Oh my God. That was my only assignment there, and you messed it up for me. So you can imagine how annoying that could be. Do you understand? You can imagine how. So now what I've coded was, especially for wedding, is that reach an agreement. Tell your clients, first of all, in terms of time, we are not rushing. If you know you want great pictures. Between what you tell me, what is the time frame you're working with? Between so time and so time, we are taking pictures. All right. So no pastor should come and rush you. No grandmother should come and tell you that something. So we have to make sure we get it right. And at the wedding as well, between so time and so time, tell your people to sit down. Do you understand? And because I don't work alone as well, I already have my assistant. So in some crucial moments, I tell my assistants to stop and man for me, which means don't shoot. Just make sure nobody crosses exactly. If Chuka and Chico for neck, I'm just joking. But like, that's the reality of things. Because if you mess it up, they will not tell you, Shebi, even though the person that passed in front of the camera is their family, they will not fault the person.
Yeah.
They'll say, we paid you now. Shebi, we should see our picture. Do you understand? So that aside, also for whether I'll be pressured whether it has gone viral before, no concern me. I got paid for the job. I'll focus on getting my own thing done. Yeah. Do you understand? That's my agreement with you. It wasn't in the agreement that you must go viral. You have gone viral, no problem. My own is to deliver a great job to you. Do you understand? After the wedding, if I tell you, okay, 2 weeks for the whole thing to be ready, I'll take my 2 weeks, make sure I package properly and deliver to you. So now if you want it to go viral, we can work something out as well. You know, it's not even something that we can plan many times. Viral, I think being viral is not something you even plan. Do you understand? Yeah. So if my pictures are that great, and I post it, or you post it and people go crazy, please give me credit. Do you understand? So that's like the whole thing for me. I've gotten paid viral, it go be. So if we go viral and get paid, it's a plus. And if we get paid and we don't go viral, it's still a plus.
Yeah.
Win-win. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's basically it for me.
And Suleiman, I want to get your thoughts on it as well, because the reason why I ask as well is, you know, Davido and Chioma had their wedding, and oh my goodness, the pictures, the videos, like I couldn't scroll for 5 seconds without seeing a Chivido content.
Yeah.
And the photographer they hired, I don't know how he was able to do it, but like those pictures came out immediately. As I was seeing the videos, I was seeing the professional pictures. And I know that's a lot of pressure, you know, to get, you're taking the pictures, you're selecting the pictures, you're editing the pictures, you're posting the pictures, and the different outfits, the different things you're snapping. So what is your thoughts about that?
Well, I don't think, you know, like Fula said, you don't plan, you know, going viral. Let me just give you an example. I think early this month, there's an Ekong Foundation. And, you know, I was paid to cover that particular foundation because it's football. And, you know, people reach out to me, brands, even, you know, Ekong reach out to me, okay, Baba, come and cover this stuff. And, you know, when I get to the venue, we saw a lot of celebrities. A lot of fans have done pictures, have done videos, they've done pictures of Sabinos. And my own is just, you know, come and take pictures and influence. Use our hashtag. I don't, you know, care what, you know, if it's going to go viral. And, you know, on the job, you know, and Sabinos did a very good skill that's, fortunately for me, I was able to capture. There are a lot of photographers there, but, you know, I wait for a moment. You know, I'm, of course, a little bit experienced when it comes to sport photography. So I took that picture and I posted. And I continued to do my job. I think it was in the first half, and you still have like 45 minutes to the end of the game. So I just posted and I just left it. I go back and I started looking. Sabinos is looking for you, looking for me. What? And before that time, people have, because he was a funny guy, there are videos of him, you know, dancing, videos of him running on the pitch, and he has gone viral. And I did a very good professional picture. And because I was paid for, I didn't put my watermark. Once you pay for my job, I just put it to free use. So people were looking for me, and all of a sudden, you know, I saw Sabinos in my DM asking for the real documents or the real HD value of the picture. So just do your job. If you see pictures of the particular event going viral, now before I release a particular, because I'm doing behind the scene, and the celebrities, big celebrities are actually on set, I know before evening, most of them I must have posted on their various social media platforms. But I will still post mine. And it's still good, but don't be pressured. Do your job, because there's nothing you can take away from professional pictures. Even if you have the phone pictures with the iPhones, with the Android, you still come back and copy for that picture because it's scripted. It's good. It looks good. So I know by this evening they must have posted pictures on their various platform, but don't worry. Do your job. Give them your timeline. Do your very good pictures. Post it, and either I go viral or not go viral. As I said, they don't pay. So don't pressure yourself, because right now you cannot sit down and plan, say you want to go viral. Nobody knew the pictures of, Mr. Farouk will go viral. You just took the picture, you posted it, and it went viral. So because if you plan to go viral, you may do a very bad job, because at the end of the day, you're in a house, let me be the first to post. Why will you be the first to post? Do a good job. Your good job will actually speak for you.
Yeah. And I think that the reason why some people put that much pressure on themselves is because, let's be real, with the creative industry, especially when you're working for yourself, especially at the beginning, when you're trying to make a name for yourself, it can be very difficult to get that financial sustenance. You know, creative industries don't necessarily always have like a paycheck at the end of the month. We have to hustle for every job we get. So with both of you, I mean, luckily now you're in a position where whether or not it goes viral, y'all don't care. But especially in the beginning, when you're still trying to make a name for yourselves, was there any period in your life where things were just really, really difficult and you started questioning your decision to go into photography?
You want to trigger me? To be honest, there were times I was like, my friends are actually getting 9 to 5. Perhaps Afolabi, dust your certificate and tender it so that you can also venture into office work. But like, at the end of the day, it is personal. I knew if I stayed in an office and maybe one person sent me, I hope this mail finds you well. If it doesn't find me, I'll come and knock you on where you are. Do you understand? I know myself that if I lose it in that office, I'll probably tear my shirt and just run out of the window. And being outside is it for me. Being on the field, being taxed with something difficult, being creative. Oh, we need to get so done. How can we get it done? You have so period. Those are challenges for me. Like, let's get it done. Do you understand? And luckily, I've been able to merge these challenges with my passion, or they have been able to blend into my passion. Do you understand? So for food photography, I started food photography. And then next thing, I went to a culinary school. So I've built that. Do you understand? So everybody knows that when you're talking about food, call follower. When you're talking about photography, call follower.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So many times it is personal. It is you first. Do you understand?
What was the darkest period for you? Because it can be really difficult at the beginning. And you know, like many creatives have been through it. You know, there's the depression, the self-doubt, the questioning, the imposter syndrome, the seeing your mates either in other professions, 9 to 5, doing well, or seeing other photographers doing well. And you're just like, God, am I a rock?
Like 2019. Yeah, like 2019. That was the time I didn't have camera, no phone, no laptop. I just did. I just did. And then when I look around, the people around me are actually flourishing. They talk about jobs that they get and talk about the prices, and I'm like, that's how. Like, guys, come on now. Do you understand? I felt like I knew I was doing something right, but also, am I selling it right? Do you understand? I think that was like the question I needed to answer at that time. Like I said again, it is personal. So in your dark moments, what do you do in your dark moments? I cried and prayed. Do you understand? God, please, I need clarity. Like, I know I am very talented, but like, how do I sell this talent? How do I, market this talent? And somehow, I've been able to use social media to my own advantage. Do you understand? I've been able to tell people, this is what I do. This is what I do. Through bands, through seriousness, through play. Do you understand? I've been able to package these things and sell it out. So, yes, there were times I also, in fact, till now, I still look at some people and be like, God damn, when it go reach my turn like this? Do you understand? Because it's a thing of continuous growth, no stopping. Only if you decide that, okay, this place where I am comfortable. I just want to, do you understand? But for me, this is not the end. Do you understand?
I think, I'll see to what, he said. I think for me, very crazy though, because I was like an intern to, shout out to Biola Kazim, for like 2 years before, the Egypt gig came to part and I got accreditation. And one thing about CAF and FIFA is once they give you accreditation, you have to find money to go or they will flag you because there's so many queue of people trying to get accreditation. And when they give you accreditation, you have to go for the tournament. And, when I was, being an intern, no salary, no income, no inflow, no cash inflow, and we are about to go to Egypt, send a, passport to Abuja for, Egyptian visa. It was $100. Then it was $6,000. Was $360. And I felt like, okay, fine, I should be at the intern for you now. Say, make Oga do visa for me. And he said, send your passport and send your visa fee. Baba, I don't deal with you for 2 years now. How will I send my visa fee now? That $6,000, it took me like 2 weeks to raise $6,000. And then, you have to buy tickets. And tickets was like $280, return tickets to Cairo, $280,000. And, you have to call all the family members. It got to a point, they say, Baba, you did banking and finance. You've done aptitude tests, you've passed. Most of your guys have, they're graduate trainee. Or guys, we don't get money. Some will show you a way. But of course, I have brothers, as the last one, I have 3 brothers. And they feel like, see, guy, you have to go for this competition. And, when you come back again, after you spend all the money and no zero inflow, you have your pictures to be looking at. And one thing I always tell people is, one consolation for you is, even if you go for a gig or you go for a tournament or you go for an event or you do personal pictures, make sure that even if you don't have money or it doesn't give you money, make sure that you give it a good conversion and you're happy with the work. I opened my archives, my first AFCON in Egypt. I saw pictures, like 5,000 pictures. I was happy. But there was no cash inflow. And then most guys, more creative, doesn't have brothers that can give them stipend. I think for that 4 years, there was no cash inflow. I wasn't making money. But because, I was like the first, photographer to go for AFCON, I was gaining followers. I didn't know I would blow up. Now I have a lot of followers now. I don't even want to give people followers. I'm tired. And, started growing up. I think I started growing. I think then I have like 20,000 followers. Then in 2018, 19. And because of that passion, just continue to. And all of a sudden, start getting gig. Because by that time too, I wasn't doing only photography. I was doing seminar. And, the first major gig I got was Ojude book launch. I got back from Egypt, I think 2019, was doing it in December. I go back in June, I say, Baba, you have to take my photography. And I took it, let me give you budget. And I gave him budget and I said, you need no back and forth, signed for 2 days. Now so it be. And a year ago, and a year ago die. So it's very difficult, from the offset, but of course, your passion have to be your driver. At the end of the day, you can fall. Because, like you said, you have a lot of guys. I was a bit brilliant in school. I was taking tutorials, and people that I was taking tutorials from were people I was sending DMs to, Baba, can you raise me 5K? The urgent 2K was very huge back then. Give me 2K, Baba. Give me 2K, because data was like 600 naira. Let me just do data. So, and you have those guys around you, and they'll tell you, Baba, now you the brilliant guy for school now. Why you the beg us for money? Because most of them, even at now, I have guys who we did 2013 together. They were like regional guys now, regional bankers now. But because you've already made it up, imagine after like 8-9 years, there's no pathway. You will regret your life because your friends are now, branch managers, are now, senior officers in banks, and, you're just there. So now it's good, but the dark days are, crazy.
Yes.
Extremely crazy.
I can imagine. But thank goodness that both of you were able to overcome and step into your destiny to blow and, continue showcasing the beauty of Nigeria through your lenses.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I mean, sadly, we do have to say goodbye. We've come to the end of another incredible episode of Life on the Movement Pod with me, Simi Drey. Please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. And of course, like, subscribe, share, and follow us on all platforms. My name is Simi Drey, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.